He would also be our first president who looked like the offspring of Droopy the dog humping a sock puppet. Yeah, it's true. Unfortunately, Sarah Palin was not able to endorse Ted Cruz. No, she had already publicly endorsed Donald Trump. So now Senator Ted Cruz has had to move on to the second most well-known conservative celebrity, an atomic bomb with "Yeehaw" painted on the side of it. And Donald Trump are both reality television stars, and they are inspiring a lot of other reality television personalities to run for public office. As a matter of fact, former Jersey Shore star Snooki has announced her plans to run for Secretary of Energy and Power because, quote, "I loves Red Bulls and I loves the gym." Record snowfall, we have almost 30 inches in less than 24 hours. DC and Baltimore traffic were at an absolute standstill. It was quite a nightmare to get around in the city. Schools closed for days. The DC Metro, however, boasted improved service times. Apparently the snow helped things by putting out several of the train cars that were currently on fire. Nurses at many of the local hospitals have announced that they plan on a spike in deliveries in a period 9 months after the day the blizzard started, which similarly Facebook has announced a spike in photos that I will be uninterested in looking at in 9 months and 3 days. Baltimore also in the news because Boston Street Blogs ran an online reader poll, and apparently our mayor, Stephanie Rawlins-Blake, was voted worst mayor in America. Very embarrassing, especially because she had to beat out Flint, Michigan Mayor Karen Weaver, Mayor McCheese, did Mayor Marion Barry, John Mayer, enough to just go ahead and bribe people in the media to tell them that Baltimore is great again. Because let's be honest, we deserve that. We deserve someone who is going to pay people to believe that we are in fact great again. Who's with me? Story coming out of Florida, where apparently even animals are completely insane. A 99-year-old woman woke up the other day, quite a shock. She had a wild animal sleeping on her chest, a kinkajou. 99 years old, probably not the weirdest thing that's fallen asleep on her. For falling asleep on a stranger's chest, so authorities believe that this particular kinkajou must have been domesticated, or it was just a slut. Kinkajous are better known as honey bears, and they are often found hanging from trees in the forests of Central and South America, eating fruit and other small mammals. 99-year-old women who live in Miami, Florida are usually better known as Graham, Mima, or Doris, and are usually found in the line at Walgreens eating gefilte fish. Another story out of Florida where even nature itself has gone insane. Yes, there is a very rare strain of blue-green algae that is apparently causing record cases of Alzheimer's, ALS, and Parkinson's disease in the elderly. Because none of those three diseases have ever affected the elderly in Florida before, as far as 3% comprised of this blue-green algae. The other 17% is equally comprised of campaign contributions, nepotism, and freedom. Blue-green algae. People are believing that the blue-green algae made people just plumb forget you shouldn't live in Florida. We have some absolutely amazing guests for you tonight, but first we're going to switch over to a fake commercial. That's right. Thank you so much. This lady, before you?
Big commercial? No, I'm sexy Russian girl and I make commercials for Bakir Bayova Brides for You.
Brides for You?
We come in 3 varieties, okay? We come in hipster, we come in alternative, and we come in straight lace. But all of us do that comes standard.
Wow!
on a new market for lesbian users because we learned that gay marriage is free or what you call it, legal in the United States, and we would like to come here to love your women.
Wow, what an abomination!
I'm sure we can work something out for you.
What about the missus?
She doesn't have to know, especially if you have green card in your pocket.
I have cash, $20.
That's a start.
Thank you very much. This has been a commercial for... Yeah!
Well, we like to have a lot of fun here at the Charm City Comedy Project, but it's hard to ignore important things that happen in Baltimore. So last year, of course, everybody was well aware of the Baltimore riots that took place here in the city, and someone who was on the ground in the middle of it, seeing everything from a first-hand perspective. He's here with us tonight, and we're going to hear a little bit about that. Please help me welcome photographer Rob Berlinski. Well, Baltimore protest. I know, I wasn't sure if it, Baltimore uprising, protests, or riots is the official nomenclature.
Yeah, it depends on what station you watch.
That's right, absolutely. Now, you are from Baltimore, right? You're a Baltimore native.
Born and raised, yeah.
So let's walk through last year. So April 19th, Freddie Gray dies, and then the 25th, the first acts that were considered the beginning of the riots, uprising, protests began. What was that day like for you? Where were you when this was all going on?
Is that the Harvard? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there, and I can just say that the protests that were happening, most people were peaceful. They were very peaceful, and they were wonderful. There was a select people who went out and smashed cars and all that. But the mood of that between the first protest to that was very, very, very raw energy. You could feel it. You do something. Because there was no conclusion there was no answer, there was no justice involved. You know, and honestly, if they did not do that, if CBS didn't burn, then we would not be talking about it. It would have went away. So, I saw it. It's a terrible thing to see when it happens, but in hindsight, it's justified.
Yeah, and you went there absolutely with the intention of chronicling this. You wanted to go there, you wanted to take pictures, you wanted to be able to show people what was really happening.
Sure, technically, yeah. Because I'm from Baltimore. I like to be a witness to things. This is my city. I can't watch the news. I can't read the papers. I have to see that. That's in my nature.
Yeah.
So to be there, to say that is to be a witness and to take this photograph and to share it with people who may not read the New York Times, who may not watch the news, or who watch the news and say, okay, here's this one prescription to something, and I go, wait a minute, let's talk about the other people who were there. Let's talk about the children who made their own signs. Talk about the mothers who were there, you know? So,
how many pictures would you say you took that you published as photographs online or elsewhere during that time? There was a lot. I saw a lot of your photography.
probably at least 600.
At least 600. That's amazing. Now, what is something that was going on during these events that mainstream media wasn't showing? What was actually going on that most people are not aware of that was happening now?
Well, the most interesting thing that brings up to my memory is the first night of curfew, and it was at Penn and North, and that's what the day we initiated the curfew, and it was at 10 p.m. It's 9:55. Geraldo shows up, and they activist Kwame Rose chews them out, educates them, he wakes them up. He leaves. It's 9:55. We're all wondering what the fuck is going to happen when the curfew occurs, and men and women wearing bandanas, blue, red, purple, and black, start going arm in arm. These are gang members. Between the riot guards who basically surrounded us, the media, protesters, and whoever else is there, myself, and they keep pushing us back, stepping in arm, pushing us forward, say, go home, fight another day. They do that over and over and over again, and it actually works. The protesters leave. Just maybe 10 minutes after curfew, they leave. And now it's just myself, the media, and the guards, and it was a very poetic moment to see gang members do that.
Yeah.
And because they're always shit on people.
Sure.
So to see that was it's a very powerful thing, and I don't think I'll never see something like that.
No, that'll
never
stick with you
forget that.
forever, absolutely. And we have some of your photography, and tell us a little bit about these two particular photos.
So this is the first time I was there. This is the Western District Police Station, and this is where they set up. You see the guards, the police officers, the railing, the light, and this is where, before that one riot. And then this is Sunday, which is the last day, which was the most peaceful day, which is with everyone of color, of age, of class, and you can tell nothing has fucking changed. This is military. They come with the helmets, the same place, everything. So my question is, what will change in a year? We have changed as citizens, but I'm not sure the police have changed. And until we have police reform, I'm not sure they get the message.
What is the biggest thing you took away from all of this? What is the thing that sticks with you most?
That's a good question. I think my answer to that would be there are feelings I have, a sense of injustice when you see a homeless person on the street and you're like, how does giving them $1 or giving them a second help? And when you live in a moment like that, you realize you're not the only one feeling those emotions, and that we're all, and the end of the game is that we're all in this together, and we all need to figure out this together. We can't have these divisions between color and class. We need to work together. And that's what I get out of it. I don't know the answers to all this. I don't live in that situation. I did not grow up in that situation. I grew up in a different Minecraft situation.
Right.
And so I can only be a witness of certain things, but those answers to fix those huge problems it takes everyone.
Sure. Now, This is Democracy is another project you've been working on. Can you tell us a little bit about this? This is what democracy looks like?
These are just the photographs from those events. I made this a month after it happened. These are just 2 books. I printed them illegally at work because I gotta save money. And I printed these. I made a bunch of them, and then I sold them, and I donated all the proceeds to this to White Eagle Media Youth. And what they do is they give young adults cameras and video cameras, and they say, make your own story, say what you need to say. Because we never listen to children anymore. We never listen to youth. All we do is blame them. We say, oh, we know the answer, but they don't know the answer. Children do. And I'm not a politician. I can only do so much, but I can print books and I can donate that. So that's what I did. So this is what they did. They're just photographs of protesters, and I think the biggest difference is between seeing young adults with signs and then armed guards to the teeth. With smoke grenade gun, assault rifle. It's just like 6 helicopters in the sky. It's like, this is what you need democracy with?
Right.
What does democracy look like anymore in this country now? I'm not sure.
That's a good question, and I'm sure it's a question that we'll be asking for a long time, because this is nowhere near done being discussed. Where can everybody find your work? Where can everybody see you? What are you doing now and next? Google.
RobberLiskey.com or whatever.
Yeah, it's on Google. And we'll link everything to you. We'll put all of your links in all of the descriptions of everything. And you have a really fantastic story. Your work is always amazing. Everything you do always looks amazing, and it's just great to see someone who has such a interesting and I think really well-balanced perspective chronicling this for all of us. So everybody, please thank Rob Berlinski. Let's give him a big round of applause. Monthly shows. One of them is called Championship Air Wrestling, and another one is the Prim and Proper's All Ladies Stand-Up Showcase. So we are going to celebrate both of those monthly shows here tonight with some of the performers from each of those shows. So we have some of the wrestlers from Championship Air Wrestling and some of the women from the Prim and Proper Ladies All-Star Show. So let's bring them out right now.
Garber and Championship Air Wrestling are some of our favorite characters in the entire Baltimore comedy scene. And tonight we're going to mix it up a little bit for you. We're going to give you something very special. The prim and proper actors and writers have prompted jokes and ideas for the Championship Air Wrestler comedians to read and perform, and vice versa. So they're basically going to be doing each other's material. So this is going to take us down a really fun road, so please enjoy.
All right, so we have from Championship Air Wrestling, the very fabulous and controversial Nikki Tony.
All right.
And we have Championship Air Wrestling.
The notorious JS.
That's right. And please introduce yourself. Proper, we have.
Ferreira.
That's right. Nikki Tony's. All right.
I was the first heavyweight champion, but as soon as I rose, I fell. One day I was doing Volvo commercials with 2 Chainz. The next I was snorting coke off a truck driver's pubic hair. In July, I ascended not to heaven, descended not to hell, but I was suspended in the trans-dimensional realm where I engaged in a celestial three-way. I'm going to say three-way, not threesome. That's how I pronounce that. With an angel and a demon. And when I was resurrected on stage at Saturday on Night Elation, I returned pregnant with the Antichrist. But I will not have an abortion, as is my right, because the last time I had I was huffing, I'm going to say, poppers with Justin Bieber's Gorilla. Thank you.
Very fabulous Nikki Tony.
So, I've been having a They resonated with people. Dark, edgy, compelling. My Vagina's monologues he performed off-Broadway. That led to a book deal, and that led to a film. I guess all in all, my vagina and I guess I should be happy for my vagina, but it's just that lately, my vagina's been a real cunt. Neeson movie? It's the third in the Taken trilogy, except this one's a comedy. It's called Take My Daughter, Please!
The jokes of Stephanie Doyle.
Let's hear it! Alright, look. I've been trying a few diets lately. First, I only eat food out of black containers because black is slimming. Also, I've been popping a lot of blood thinners. So, not to brag, but my blood
How thin is it?
you can't even see it from where you're standing. I don't want to hurt you tainted by my, ruining your joke here. And lastly, I learned my stomach the size of my hand. So I started this new diet. I call it fisting.
The lines of the notorious JSG.
First, I will be victorious.
and the Prim and Proper stand-up show every month. Comedy projects. Please check all of our social media and website. So now we have another guest coming up. Yes, Rob Lee. Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you. You know him as Daddy. That's right. Please put your hands together for friend to the Charm City Comedy Project, Mr. Jason Garber. That anybody gets to say this. You are a lawyer by day and an improv comedian by night.
This is true.
Now, how do you balance that?
I try to black out the day parts, focus more on the night stuff. Because the day stuff is the depressing stuff that gives me material for night though. So I guess if there is a positive to that.
Sure.
You know. So I mean, it's all good though. I mean, it's nice because it gives me a creative outlet.
Yeah.
Whereas during the daytime, not so creative.
Yeah.
Not so creative. Sure.
Now, does everybody at work believe that you're this improv guy, or is this a big secret?
Oh no, they know.
Yeah.
I make sure that's out there. So this way, if it ever gets out there, otherwise I've already been ahead of the news. See, that's the trick to life, is you got to stay ahead. This way, you have other people adapt to what you want.
There you go.
There you go.
Very smart. So you are part of Championship Air Wrestling.
Yes.
Championship Comics.
Yes.
You are part of. And now you are hosting your own monthly show called The Debate.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Tell us all about it.
The Debate is a show where I moderate with some celebrities, entertainers, and politicians. For example, last month we had Justice Ginsburg stop by.
That's right.
We had Senator Bernie Sanders take time off the campaign trail.
Yeah! Right.
Also came by to sit here and tell us about his views. But he had a very special guest.
Yes.
We had someone by the name of Carl Grabel from the War of 1812. But then this month coming up in, next Saturday night, we have on tap Vladimir Putin.
Ooh.
Yes, he's coming into the country, folks. Get ready. But his buddy who could see him from across the Bering Straits, that's right, Sarah Palin, will also be there that night. We have Grayscale from Championship Comics.
Woo!
And an unidentified mystery guest. Well, I guess it would be unidentified and mystery is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Mr.
yes.
Peanut.
Well, maybe. We don't know yet.
Now, of all the characters you've played, and you played a lot of characters, just in improv alone, you play a lot of characters. If you could sit down to dinner with any of the characters you played, who would that be?
Any of the characters I've played in improv?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do like Mick Mayhem from Championship Comics. I do. First of all, he had an Irish-Scottish accent. He was, the Irish god, basically put him into the universe. That's a pretty interesting backstory already. And then he runs a secret superhero organization out of a volcano. I mean, who doesn't love that kind of stuff?
Right. It sounds like boring dinner conversation, though. What are you going to talk about?
Right, exactly. I know, I've got enough. Well, you know what? I can sit here and talk about my kid, because everybody who doesn't have kids likes to hear about people and their experiences with their own kids.
Not true. Something strange and off-putting.
Thank you.
Very.
We're not quite sure about the paternity, but at least according to her birth certificate, she's mine. All this musical talent, apparently. She actually has a trombone now.
Oh,
yes.
That's not annoying.
No, have and give it to her. Yes, so she's apparently good at it. We got a call from her school saying how much musical talent she has. Which made me think to myself that, now we need a paternity test. Because that does not run naturally in my genes. That did not come from me.
Yeah.
So we think she's clone.
Oh.
We're going with this.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, she looks a lot like my wife, like the same age, and acts just like her on a day-to-day basis. And, they're always watching me, always judging, always looking at me.
A lot of ladies now.
Right, they're reporting what I'm doing back to one another at all times.
They're jealous.
But it's adorable because I get to play with her all the time. And it's actually like doing improv at home because she is making up things on the fly, and I'm adapting to it and working with her with it. And I think it's good. It's good for her, good for me. But it's actually a lot of fun because her personality makes it a lot of fun. She's very inquisitive.
Oh yeah,
smart.
and she seems like a ham. She seems like she definitely likes being in the spotlight.
Yes, she's a bit of a diva. She has she stares at the mirror, like throws her hair up like this, and like sitting there like trying to check it out. One of these things, gives you pouty looks. Like,
That's pretty good for Furr. In comedy, what do you say? / she comes to you and says she wants to pursue a career in law. What do you say?
Comedy, go for it. I'm behind you 100%. Law, you're on your own. No. Being a lawyer, one problem is that it's overstuffed with attorneys these days because law schools are just admitting everybody, and then now people are stuck with tons and tons of debt. I refer to that debt as financial herpes because it's permanent. And it always comes up at inconvenient times every month. But it's actually true, and like I'm not the only one who has financial herpes. It is actually contagious.
Yeah.
And it actually affected my wife and child now with it. So, right, exactly. But that's why, comedy's like, you know what? Have fun in life. The best thing you do is make someone happy, put smiles on people's faces, because that helps somebody through their day, and that's far more important than, Well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, it's a real important civil rights thing that can't overlook that. I mean, that is pretty important. Right.
Well, where can everybody find you? Your Twitter is highly entertaining. Watching you live tweet during the debates was very entertaining. Where can people find you on social media?
The Garber Zone is my address on Twitter. Of course, you can always find me here. The first Saturday of every month, we do Championship Air Wrestling. The second Saturday, we do Championship Comics. And then Travis typically performs the third Friday of every month. So, there are 3 opportunities to come see me at least.
That's right.
And then this month is the second Saturday as well. And that finds me at home that night. You can find me there too.
Please put your hands together and help me thank Jason Garber. Party. That's right. We've got an amazing musical performance tonight from Baltimore. The Holographic Sticker Club. Are we, I think so, Okay. I'm pregnant. The entire CAW. Professor Payne. You might hold the title, but I am the thorn in your side because you're bound by physics and Euclidean geometry. But I am a traveler in the trans-dimensional realms where I have had sex with angels and demons in every position imaginable and some unfathomable to the human mind. Kids, do not do drugs. I was the first ever champion of the CAW, but almost as soon as I rose, I fell. One day, I was doing fucking Volvo commercials with 2 Chainz. The next, I was belching cocaine residue out of George Michael's ass. You don't want to go down the path that I have gone, but tested and true. I have known Christ and Muhammad. I have known every celestial deity, and some that crawl on the earth like worms, some that slither like snakes. I have studied at Harvard and Yale and served in the Serbian Navy. I can blow my way across a warship in 15 minutes. And if you cross my path, you will feel my wrath. ISIS, I have no fear of you pussies, because I lived for 5 years amongst the Cannibal natives of Papua New Guinea. In Papua New Guinea, we didn't just behead our enemies, we beheaded our friends. They called me the praying mantis, because I cut the heads off my sexual partners. Sometimes afterwards, Baltimore bomber, you think you're tough, but one day you'll be leaning over in the streets like a wilted plant. Professor Payne, you are bound to fall. Notorious JSG, I thank you for being the surrogate father of my baby. Children need family. I believe in a strong family structure, and I will reign supreme.
some technical difficulties, so I'm going to do some stand-up for you real quick. My name is Ben Burdell.
Yeah!
Thank you. You too? I mean, 5'7" is not too tall and not too short. But I still have to, I can still reach things, but I have to stand on a phone book when I pee in my sink. Or during shower sex. I have a lot of soggy phone books laying around my house. My girlfriend and I, we broke up. And yeah, it was really sad. And now all my phone books are drying out. I started dating again, but I had to throw those phone books out because if they saw it, they would know. So when she moved out, she took everything with her. She took the knives, the plates, the forks, all the silverware. I was stuck with a plastic sport. Not that that detail really matters. If it was I've never heard of a metal sport before, have you? Anybody? No. If you are, then you are delightfully self-proclaimed white trash. You've committed to it, and I respect you for that. So she moved out, she took everything with her. She took the microwave. That same night, I had to reheat spaghetti on a George Foreman grill. And I cried because my sport melted right into the George Foreman.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I cried right into the pasta. Not because I was sad, but because I was out of salt. I also realized that she also was the one who cleaned. I just thought that we were really, really, really clean people naturally. But she was cleaning the apartment the whole time that we were together. So after the subsequent weeks that she was gone, I learned that a great way to season meat is just don't clean the George Foreman grill, ever. I also learned if you run out of toilet paper, you can use a Chick-fil-A bag. Not a Burger King bag, because the brown is very deceiving. And if you're lucky, there might be some napkins. If you run out of napkins and fast food bags, then go to the pantry and use some coffee filters. It works. Just don't reuse them. And if you run out of coffee filters, take a shower, because chances are at this point you probably need one. So I tried to start dating again. I got on Tinder. Anybody out there in the spirit on Tinder? Anyone in this room on Tinder? No. Am I the only sad and neurotic person in the room? I started dating again, and it's working out now. Is on. Are you ready to rock and roll? You want me to keep going? He wants the music to start just to get me off. Who wants to freestyle? Anybody? Oh, no! Freestyle? I would like anybody. Oranges. Oranges. Oh, that's says oranges. They grow up in trees. You don't really have to forage for them. You can be like me. You can climb up in the oranges tree, and then you'll get that vitamin C. And when you're on a ship, you won't get scurvy. Because that leaves you really irate when you got scurvy and you're a pirate. All right, what's the next time? Oh my God, it's frustrating, parking. If you had a gun, you'd probably be sparking. Because I don't know about you. People will take my spot. I don't know what I'm going to do. No, I'm no Eddie Izzard freestyling about parking. We survived this blizzard. Yeah. This is how we do who would say something about Baltimore will stab you like Ray Lewis. Right on.
All right. Thank you, Ben Friedel. Thank you.
Now we have an amazing musical performance from a very special guest, the Holographic Sticker Club.
you very much for joining us here at Hampden. Here in the greatest city in America. Woo! Future Charm City Comedy projects coming up this week.
On Thursday, we have 12 by Fire, a hectic and courage show. On Friday, we have Prim and Proper, our all-lady show. On
Saturday we have
Annihilation, our championship air wrestling show featuring El Macho Man.
and finally
On Saturday nights, we have our unarmed comedy stand-up show.
you can also find us here again on Wednesday night.
With our next host, Garber, with guests Heather Miles, Tommy Servazzo, and band Moth Hubby. But for now, from all of us here at Hampden Night, good night.
Tip your bartenders and love each other.
And if you guys want to get your wonderful faces
On camera and be internet famous while the song's playing. Come on up and say
hello.
No.
yes.
I did. I dropped it.